we are, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the How Not to Bomb presents Everybody's Got a Story. I'm your host, Michael Wheels Parisi. We're going to start this show real soon. I got a special guest tonight. Tonight's guest understands exactly what this show is about. Surviving rejection, staying true to yourself, and continuing to show up. Jason Stuart has spent more than 4 decades as a stand-up comedian and character actor, appearing in more than 160 films and television projects. His credits include The Birth of a Nation, Entourage, Will and Grace, House, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. But Jason's story is bigger than his credits. Instead of changing himself to make Hollywood comfortable, he kept working, kept performing, and helped others open doors for people who came in after him. He went from losing to Martin Lawrence on Star Search to building a career that has lasted more than 40 years, people. He also won an Indie Series award for the comedy series Smothered. Jason didn't just wait for Hollywood. He made it himself. He made Hollywood deal with him exactly as he was. Everybody got a story, and tonight we got Jason Stuart. That's right, everybody. Jason will be coming in the room in just a second. I'm your host, Michael Wheels Parisi. This show is brought to you by Babes Classic Restorations. If you know me, I'm a big fan of Babes. I'm going to throw them on the screen here. Babes Paint and Body, Classic Restorations, full body paint, minor fabrications, rust repair, body off restorations, fiberglass repair. They do it all. They turn that gem that you always had in your garage and you kept on saying you were going to go do yourself and never did. They turn it into something special. Located in Venice, Florida at 735 Commerce Drive. Unit 8. I'm sorry, I read that wrong. In Venice, Florida, 34292. Great people. You want to ask for Alan or Cheryl at Babes. Without further ado, I'm going to bring in Jason Stuart. And here we go. There he is, everybody. There he is. There's the man. Say hello to Jason Stuart, everybody. Welcome him to the show. We got a big crowd tonight, Jason, and they heard you were coming. Yeah, no, and they heard it. They couldn't wait for you to come in the show, right, everybody? That's right. He's here tonight, live on YouTube, live on Facebook. All right, everyone. All right, chill out. All right, relax. All right.
Jason, that's a big crowd.
They are. They're right in my studio here. Huge. My studio in Tampa, Florida. So, Jason, you and I go pretty far back. I mean, we go back as far as, I want to say in the early 90s. I met you before you went on the Geraldo show.
Oh, my God. So when I had hair.
Yes,
we both had hair.
We both had hair. And I remember you going on the Geraldo show. And I remember you talking about, you were getting a little antsy about it. Because you were doing something that was pretty crazy that, back in those days.
Well, I don't think what I did was I would wear zebra pants and a leopard jacket, and I would spike up my hair and dance in a circle because I didn't want anybody to know I was gay.
Right. Exactly. You were very good at hiding it.
Yeah, very good.
Didn't you come out to the song "I'm Coming Out"? Was that the song?
Yes, I actually, where that started was I did a big show for the campus activities, the National Association of Campus Activities, and you would do 20 minutes and you could get college gigs, and you had to be picked to do that. And I said to them, I want to play this song for a couple minutes when I come to the stage. And it was like 1,000 kids there and bookers and all that kind of stuff. And he said, well, that's going to take almost 5 minutes off your time. I said, I don't care.
Yeah. You knew.
And it was such a big deal at that time because nobody who was openly gay had ever basically said, here I am, to the college, National Association of College, whatever it's called.
I think you were I think you set the pace. I want to say you sent the presidents that it was okay to be gay and be you and do what you do. And I think because back then really nobody was coming out of the closet.
Thank you.
No, I really do think that. I honestly do. Not because we know each other.
I think a lot of people came before me.
Who though? Who came out of the closet before you?
Well, God, there was a whole group of people that were gay from the get-go. Karen Williams, Robin Tyler, Bob Smith, God, Jaffe Cohen. There was a whole group of people.
In
Danny
stand-up
McBride.
comedy?
Oh yeah, but they
I did
were
not
on
know that.
the gay circuit, or they were
Okay.
more alternative, and it was a different, Suzanne Westenhofer, Kate Clinton. There were just a lot of people that had broke that ground. So Bruce Valanche, that I
Okay,
could
Bruce
walk on.
Valanche. I didn't know that Bruce Valanche came out. I
He
knew he
never came out.
was.
They were all out. They were all. A lot of them were out from the get go.
Right, because they decided to be that way, but you were going another route. You didn't know you started comedy, and I want to get into that. Growing up funny, when did you realize you could make people laugh? And did comedy begin as an entertainment or a way to protect yourself when you first started? Like before you first started, when did you know you knew this was going to be it?
Well, I never wanted to be a comedian.
You
I
never
never
wanted to
thought
be.
about it. I wanted to be an actor. I wanted to be like Dustin Hoffman or Richard Thomas on the Waltons. I didn't want to be a comedian. I never thought that I was funny in that way. It was, frightening. And honestly, the straight boys of comedy, it's almost like, high school with money.
Right, right. Yeah.
People would grab me and harass me and, all sorts of things. Mostly the straight boys. And
Oh,
there was a lot of sexual banter, I guess, of sorts. And I'm not saying that these guys were closeted gay guys. I think it's just about power and busting your chops and that kind of thing.
yeah. I
And it
think it
was,
is closeted gay too. I believe that a lot of the people that do that are closeted gay that just never come out and they never enjoy their life. Yeah. Froze there for a second. Are you able to hear me? We had another. We have a technical difficulty. Jason Stuart is in the audience. He froze. He's coming back in. There he is. Hey, Jason. And you see yourself there. You're still there.
yeah.
Isn't that crazy? I'm going to try and get rid of the other Jason. That's crazy. You're actually being able to watch yourself the way you looked right.
Is there two of us now?
What's that?
Do you want to start again or?
No. I mean, no. I'm gonna ask you that question. We're on. We're live. We're live and in Memorex. I'm gonna move one of the Jasons backstage. There we go. I got rid of him. There we go. I got rid of your arch nemesis. All right. So, you wanted to be an actor.
Was
You
he
wanted to be
better
like
looking
Dustin.
than me? I hope he wasn't better looking than me.
He was your doppelganger. He looked exactly like you. You haven't aged really. Have to, other than the hair. I think we both are bald. I'm bald too, but I don't believe that you've aged very much at all. I mean, we all age gracefully. I think you aged gracefully. You definitely
Well, thank you.
do look a lot. I mean, you don't really look different than other than put hair on you. You'd be the same Jason. Well, we don't want to be the same person, but so you got into stand-up comedy through acting because you wanted to be an actor, and you got into
I had a
stand-up comedy
manager
through.
who really wanted me to do it. She thought I was really funny. It was the 80s, but it wasn't comedy like now where everybody was doing it. It was for people who, it was the dorky guys, the fat guys, the tall guys, the goofy guys, the women that were tough, or like Rosie O'Donnell or Shirley Hemphill, who had such a incredibly being really poor, growing up being poor. There was always something that you had to have something to be on the stage. Whereas now you got Nikki Glazer, you got Matt Rife, you got
True.
God, Mateo Lane. They're all killer bodies. They all work
Yes, they're
out.
all
They all look
gorgeous. Yep.
fabulous. I'm thinking to myself, geez, Louise, I thought I looked good. See, I work out.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. Well,
But I
comedy
don't.
is
But I
really
don't.
like you're right though. Comedy was all about you had to have that look, a different kind of look, not
You
beautiful. Not
be
everybody was
goofy, and
beautiful.
now everybody's gorgeous.
Yeah, everybody's gorgeous, and everybody. I mean, you see all these comedians going on stage, even the men and the women, all models.
Having plastic surgery, and all this stuff, and
Yeah.
all sorts of stuff to look really great. Everybody, it's become a whole different thing.
So
Very, very different.
where did you first get on stage as a stand-up? Was it the comedy
First
store?
time was at the Comedy Store. The second
It
time
was.
was the Improv, and the third time was the wait. First Comedy Store, Laugh Factory, Improv. And Laugh Factory has been probably my home club. I'm still working there.
Oh yeah, matter of fact, I'm going to show a clip of Jason.
43 years I'm doing
40. Yeah, you're doing comedy 43. I'm doing it 38. Wow, God, you're doing this a long time. All right, I'm going to share a video here, people. This is Jason Stuart here at the Laugh Factory. I believe this is the one in Hollywood, I want to say. Here we go.
Number you could call to stop this shit. I really do. I want to pitch 7 and just get out of it somehow. You know, you're getting older when you get afraid of things you were never afraid of before. I used to love to go into an amusement park and almost die. And now that I'm getting closer to death, I want to go. I recently went to Six Flags. Has anybody ever been to Six Flags? Anybody here? Yeah, in Magic Mountain? Did you ever go on the Batman ride? Oh, that ride scared the shit out of me. First of all, they strap you in like you're a fucking mental patient. Your legs hang over like you're mini-me. I got so nervous, I felt like my uterus came out through my mouth.
That's 20 pounds ago.
What's that?
That was right after birth. I think that was right after Birth of a Nation because I was heavier then.
I think he said it was 9 years ago.
I don't care about the jokes. I don't care about the jokes. I just care if I look.
You care about how you look.
All I care. That's it. That's all I care about.
That's all you want. It's how you look. That's how we all are. It's all about vanity with us. Even me. I've always been an overweight guy, but I always prided myself on.
You always had outfits.
I didn't know. I always did. I think I was very metrosexual in my life. I don't feel that I was.
That's such an old school. Who says that?
Well, what can you say now? I'm married with children. I'm not gay, but I also enjoy nice things and I enjoy dressing well and I wear my
I'm going to tell you right
Grams
now,
when
not
I go
all
out.
gay guys are such great dressers. They're not all great. Some of them are just a mess.
But
I've met
in
them.
West, yeah. Okay, nowadays, but years ago, you dressed well. You wore nice clothes. You knew good
No,
things. You moved
there are guys. There's always guys. You just didn't know they were gay.
True. You lived in Palm Springs. All the stereotypes.
I guess so. Yeah.
I love Palm Springs actually.
Well, you know
I'm in
why I
Florida
moved
now.
here?
No,
I was looking for a parking spot, and I just kept driving.
Oh, that is funny. That's true though. L.A. has changed. Can we both agree that L.A. is not the same L.A.?
Oh, it's a mess.
I hear
It's
awful.
It's a parking lot. It's basically
but it's also
a
pit, from what I hear. I haven't been out there in 10 years.
Really?
About 10 years. 2018. So yeah,
God.
almost 10 years. I moved to Vegas for 10 years. I lived in Vegas for a while.
I remember because I think I saw you there. We had a whole thing. It was with Bobby Slayton.
Right.
There was
yep.
a bunch of us.
A bunch of
got
people. Yep, we
together.
were all
I
got
forgot what it
together.
was. We had a lunch or something, a comedian's lunch.
Yeah, we were all in Vegas. I think that was the last time I saw you. And
Maybe so.
What's that?
Maybe so.
Yeah, I think that was the last time. And when you're around a bunch of people, you don't get to really. I didn't know that the Laugh Factory you're claiming as your home. I mean, even though the Comedy Store was where I would see you at the Comedy Store way more than the Laugh Factory back in the early '90s.
It wasn't really. She was never that supportive of me. I just sort of got in by the skin of my teeth. I think I don't really know. I mean, it was.
I had no idea. I thought she was always very supportive. I thought she loved you.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe I was too crazy. It was never consistent. I think
Really?
I hung out a lot there because I wanted to.
Maybe that. See, the Comedy Store was one of those places you hung out at too. You wanted to hang there. The Laugh Factory, you kind of did your set because I was a regular at the Laugh Factory. You would do your set, get out of there, and go hang out at the Comedy Store. I think that was how it was for me. We wanted to get out of the Laugh Factory. We were done. You couldn't go anywhere. You couldn't be anywhere. And
They didn't have
Store
this physical setup that the other one does.
Yeah, the other one had the main thing. So going back in your career, what do you remember about competing against Martin Lawrence on Star Search? And what did it motivate you or discourage you so early on in your career?
Well, I didn't know much about him. He was just. I think that was the first thing he ever did.
Really?
He didn't. You're inclinating that he was maybe big star or something like that. It wasn't that way at all. He was just this guy, who came to do comedy, came there, and and he was very funny. He was charming and handsome, and I thought he was really funny. And at the time, that show, my understanding is that it was fixed. They'd make
Really?
decisions on who they. Oh yeah.
I didn't know that.
Who was the guy that had the cleft chin and he was a magician? He was blonde. He was heavy set with the hair sprayed back. I forgot his name. And I remember I was backstage with him and somebody came over and they said to him, "Hey, here's your plane ticket for tomorrow." He said, "Well, I haven't done the show yet. How do you know I'm leaving?" Oh, she said, "Oh, I'm so sorry."
Really?
And then I was told by the comedy booker who picked me, because I didn't even have to audition. I was just asked to do it. It wasn't like now where they torture you.
Right. Yeah.
Everything is torture.
It is.
I mean, it has to be perfect. And they're like, what is it? This America's Got Talent. They want to go through your act and da 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 da, and what's right for them. And they don't go, "Hey, I want you. Let's work on it."
Right.
They just make you send them. I've been asked to do it 4 times. Once they sent me a contract. Once there were other people, young people that had no idea who I was, and they wanted me to do it, and then that never worked out. And then once I think I went and auditioned in person.
Wow.
Around probably 10 years ago or 15 years ago. It was before my acting career really took off.
Your acting career really did take off. I didn't know back then. I just thought really that you were strictly a comedian because, you didn't.
Well, I started as an actor. I didn't
know. I had no idea.
If it wasn't for that manager, I don't think I would have ever had the guts to do it. I mean, who would want to go someplace where everybody would just make fun of you and, like they did when I was a kid? I mean, it's like,
yeah.
No, I was scared half to death.
But you broke barriers, though, and I wanted to ask you, were you regularly at the time stereotyped because being openly gay? Did they automatically throw you into a stereotypical? Your acting roles, were they only looking for gay roles?
Well, in the beginning, yes.
Yeah. How did you prove you could play characters completely unlike yourself? Which you have proved, and I've seen it, and I'm like, he's 100% believable, not even a fraction.
Well, I think what happened was, it's such a long trajectory. So when I first came out, I sort of decided that I was going to be, this out gay guy, and I had it was 1993. There was no Ellen. There was no Rosie. There was no Wanda. There was no, Mateo Lane or Joel Kim Booster. There was nobody. I mean, it was just me and some other people who had been in the niche. A lot of them working in San Francisco, a lot of them working in New York, not a lot in LA at all. And so I didn't really have any ground set for me. Bruce Valanche was the only one that I knew. And he was basically a comedy writer and a sort of celebrity panelist of sorts and things. Yeah. He was, and he had never really done a lot of stand-up in clubs. He wrote for Bette Midler and he wrote for Whoopi Goldberg and all these people. And so I didn't really know what to do. So I just kept doing it. And I was sort of pushed into being a headliner. And because I had been doing comedy for 10 years, I was really ready. And I was probably one of the first openly gay comedians to headline mainstream comedy clubs. And then I started doing, all my comedy friends would let me be on their shows playing the fussy manager. I did the Norm show. I did Drew Carey. I did 2 Will and Graces. I did My Wife and Kids with Damon Wayans. That was a big deal because I played the shrink and I recurred. I did 4 episodes, I think. And then I did tons of other sitcoms. And then when the 3-camera sitcom thing sort of ended, I started doing like Charmed and Strong Medicine, and I play managers mostly, or talk show hosts, or things that were sort of generic, that wasn't gay, where it didn't matter who you were. And then when these things sort of wrote out, started getting older, when they wanted a younger, cuter gay guy to play the funny gay guy, I wanted to do more. So I decided to produce my own stand-up special because no one would give me one. Okay. And this is before everybody started to do it. It was in I taped it in 2006, and then it came out on Here TV, I think in 07 and 08. It was on, where did it go? Oh, then it went to Netflix, and then it got released on DVD by Aristocle Home Video. I think I was the first gay guy to have a special on Netflix. I think I was.
You were a lot of firsts.
I'm not completely sure.
Yeah, and when I said earlier
I
about being a gay comedian coming out, I mean, even though they were out comedians, you were the first gay comedian to come out, meaning flamboyantly come out of the closet live. I mean, pretty much on television.
Funny. Flamboyantly come. Not
flamboyantly. Well, your dancing time coming out. You're on the Geraldo Rivera show. I mean, put anybody in front of Geraldo and you're flamboyant. Geraldo is probably one of the most boring people. I was never a big fan of Geraldo. I was always a big fan of yours, though.
Well, you were always very sweet to me.
I just thought, because I thought you had it all. Like in comedy, when I used to watch you, as comedians, we're judgmental, and we only walk into the room when certain comedians are on to sit down in the back and watch those comedians. You were one of those that I would watch. I enjoyed watching.
Really?
Yeah. I think a lot of us enjoyed watching you during those days. We'd come in.
Who did you say?
A few of us would always come in. We'd be hanging out in the back,
Really?
smoking weed. Yeah. And then when you were on stage and we'd get excited to come and see you, we'd jump in. I mean, we wouldn't stay the whole set, but we'd stay for the beginning. And then when you would work out your new material, we'd kind of go back and then come out. Yeah, we enjoyed watching you. There's a few of us back there back in those days.
Wow. I guess that for those who don't know, that club is pretty dark, so you can't really see at the Comedy Store who's on.
You don't know who's
watching.
Yeah, and I think we were there during the time when the Comedy Store wasn't doing that great, how it is now. Apparently, it's the hottest spot in town. Yeah, God,
is it?
From what I hear, it is. I haven't been there many years, but I hear it's the hottest spot in town. This is interesting, Jason. The birth of a nation. What attracted you to such a dark and difficult?
Well, this
role?
is what happened. So after I did my special and after I did my comedy album, I produced them both because I couldn't get anybody to do it for me. They still wouldn't.
You always did your own stuff, yeah.
Well, I didn't have any choice, so I just didn't have any choice. I mean, that's just the way it was, and in the end, it was a good thing because I got to make the money from it because I owned it.
You owned the product, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, which now everybody does that. Now everybody makes their own thing and they own their own product.
Right.
But what happened is after that happened, I thought, well, I've done this for 25 years. I've headlined clubs and I've done all this. So now what I really want to do is I want to act. I keep saying, I set myself, well, I want to act. I want to do stuff. I want to keep acting. And so I think to myself, what do I want to do? So I went back to class and then I noticed that everybody in the class was doing all these different characters. And I remembered how much I wanted to be like Dustin Hoffman. So I started working on characters. And I remember I did a scene from Marty, which is a film that Ernest Borgnine had done. It was an independent film.
Fantastic
in the 50s.
film. Loved it.
And he plays a guy who talks like this, and he's this kind of guy, and he falls in love for the first time, and it's very sweet. He's a sweet guy. So I did this, and I remember Ivana Chubbuck, who was my acting class teacher, she said, Jason, how did you do that? How did you become this straight guy? And I remember Damon Wayans, I think, was in the class when I did that, or California Suite. I can't remember. And I remember, how did you do that? And I said, well, it's called acting.
Right. you're acting
she said,
straight.
She said, what part of you? I said, that's who I am. I'm just I'm not this funny, quippy kind of guy in real life all the time. I never was.
Right. Most comedians aren't.
Some people are. I think it's a mixed bag.
Yeah. A lot of them always on. I mean, I always feel that I'm more serious. I'm only really funny when I'm on stage or performing somehow.
Well, after a while, you don't need that anymore. You don't need that attention. Way.
No, I feel bad for those who do, and I know there are a lot of comedians out there. I feel bad for them that they're still chasing that crazy dream. I mean, it's good to chase your dream, never give up on it, but learn to pivot a little bit.
Well, you don't have to do it, all the time.
Yeah, I mean, you could pivot. You could do something. I've done other things. I branched out, opened up restaurants and stuff, and I did my thing. And I still always come back to this. But I enjoy it. But I still do my thing. But yeah, when I was watching you on the television playing a racist.
You saw Birth of a Nation. So what happened was, is that I had gotten a guest starring role on a show called The Closer opposite Kara Sedgwick. And I played this guy who talked like this. And it was this one, da 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 da, and but, and da da da, but. And I made him funny. And he was this guy who, was a manager of a storage facility. And that changed my career. And my friend Adam Belanoff got me the audition. And James Duff, who was the creator of the show, knew me socially. And it changed everything they said that I could do. And then I wound up then I did another show called, was it, the puppet thing that I did that Sean Baker had made. It was War in the Ape. And it was a show that was a sister show to another show about something that straight boys like. And I played a sort of Bernie Madoff character. And that got me into Tangerine, which was Sean Baker's film. And then Sean Baker, for people who don't know, won the Oscar for Anya. He won 4 Oscars in one night: director, writer, editor, and DP, I believe, and picture.
There are a lot of good
four, yeah. And it was sort of amazing. And I played the manager of a Hamburger Mary's. And I had 2 really big scenes. It was cut up into 8 parts.
I saw that too, actually.
Yeah, it's a great film. It's about
Excellent.
these a day in the life of these 2 transgender gals I went to Sundance with it. And the year before, I'd gone to Sundance with another film that I did. I had 1 scene in it. I played the guy who married Fred Molina and John Lithgow, and Marissa Tomei was in it, and Cheyenne Jackson and Harriet Harris. It was just amazing to be working with. And I talked with the whole entire scene, but all they had to say is, yes, I do. And I was a nervous wreck. And the 2 films got in a row. And then the 3rd film in a row was Birth of a Nation. And that's an incredible story because I had gotten agents all over the country. And I got one in Florida and St. Louis, and nobody sent me out on anything.
Wow.
Nothing. Then I got one in New Orleans, and this gal, Brenda Newshofer, and I said, look, she called me after 3 months that I'd called her, and she said, hey, I finally watched your tape, your demo reel, you're good. And I said, oh, well, thank you. And I said, look, I want to come meet you. So I flew out there to meet her, and I said, look, this is the deal. I'm gay. She said, well, I don't care. And I said, look, I want to play all different kinds of parts. Well, I saw the demo reel. You're good. That's all I care about. It was completely different than Hollywood, where everybody made me play either the fussy manager or the annoying Jew or the
over the top
funny gay guy, and I wanted to do other things. And she said, fine. And one day she sends me an audition for a plantation owner, a white heterosexual Christian plantation owner in 1831. And I'm a Jewish liberal gay guy.
Yeah, and he's that's racist plantation owner. I mean, he was so convincing. Yeah.
Well, it's it's really wonderful. And I got to work with Armie Hammer and Nate Parker and Penelope Ann Miller and Gabrielle Union and Coleman Domingo and just Esther Scott. It was just an amazing experience. And I had 8 scenes in the film. I had a major supporting role.
Yeah, very good.
3 villains.
Yeah.
And
how did you prepare for that mentally, though? To play something that's totally off character. I mean, most straight people couldn't play that role. I mean, you never know. Here you are. How did she look at you and say he'd be perfect for the racist plantation owner? Perfect.
Well, you do the work. You do the work. You have the sense memory for it, and you decide this guy is not a guy. Excuse me. Oh, I'm boring myself. This is not a guy that thought he was a bad person. That was who people were in those days. So there was a certain largeness about him, and there was a certain, what would you say, naivete and of the time, and entitledness, very entitled. So I decided on an accent. I decided on a physical behavior, the way I would move, the way I'd move my hands, the way I would look, who I would talk to. And there was a scene with Roger Ganvier Smith, who I had done another film called Dirty With, where I played a owner of a dive bar. And I run 2 or 3 scenes in that. I can't remember. Did Paul Elia? You know Paul Elia?
I don't know.
Elia
Paul.
now.
No.
He's a
Elia.
wonderful comedian and actor, and he produced that film and gave me a part. We had done a series together, Mentor, that we created. That's on Amazon now. We did it in 2013, I think. And so Roger is in the film, and he's playing a house slave. So in the scene, what we're sitting in this big scene where Army Hammers, it's at his house, and he's trying to get me, I'm a richer plantation owner, involved. And these pewter heavy trays with food they were putting on the table, and then he kept knocking me. Now, if he was a slave, that would, this would really be a big deal that he would do that.
Sure.
And he'd be in trouble. And I said, look, this is what I'm going to do. The guy that was playing my wife, I said, when he comes over, you start to talk to me and tell me to not, to use my napkin. And she did it. And we did this whole thing. And I went like this, and he was able to go in and do that.
Wow.
So it's just stuff like that. It's just creating realities. And,
yeah.
And, I've been an actor a really long time, and I love the work. I love the...
And you put the work in. Do you think the performance changed how Hollywood viewed you when you did that? I mean...
Somewhat, yeah.
Yeah.
But, people forget easily.
True. That does happen. What about when it's Only Sunny in Philadelphia? How Always Sunny in Philadelphia? What was the experience
What did I play
like?
on that? I played a guy who was... oh, God. They were clearing all their stuff. It was so long ago, I forgot. Oh, God. What did I
It's amazing how you forget the role you actually played.
Well, I was playing a guy who was giving away their stuff. How much you want for this? How much you want for that? And yeah, it was. I do remember more. It was the first time I ever was on a show where everybody was on cell phones.
Okay,
I did
so it was during that era.
9 or 10, and then I did. And then Danny DeVito was on, and I had met Danny at Joe Santos's house. He used to be on the Rockford Files because his son Joey was a childhood friend, and Danny was living in the maid's room. And then I remember one day Rhea came over, his girlfriend, before he was, star of Barbie.
Right.
He came over. She says, "Oh, Hollywood, I hate this place. I'm leaving. They're never going to give me a job." And then, of course, she got onto Cheers and several other shows, and it changed. Her whole life changed.
If you had out of 160 credits, I mean, you have about 160 credits. Which role or performance are you most proud of? Would you say?
Oh God, I can't say one. I would say, Redlining, my new film.
Okay, Redlining.
I really love this film. It's about a black and a white family who live on the same property in the 1970s, and when all the parents pass away, who gets the house and why? The film is about generational wealth. I directed it. I co-wrote it with Lee Garlington, who also acts in it. I work with my best friend, Alexandra Paul, who plays my mother. She ages 40 years in it. I work with just incredible actors, Dalila Ali-Raja and Kareem Ferguson and Scott Krinsky, who also does stand-up and a character actor. And he used to be on Chuck. And I love the work so much. That's a shame. I wish people would say I was bad and then I could quit.
Well, do you think do you believe that people overlooked you for anything that you wanted so badly?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I always had to prove myself.
Yeah. Why do you think that is? Because you always come through. You do the work. You put the work in. You're not lazy about it. I mean, I don't get I don't understand. That's why I don't understand Hollywood anymore. I never really understood Hollywood. I mean, you really put the work in. It makes no sense. Tell me about Smothered.
Smothered is a series I did with Mitch Hara. We did 15 episodes. It was about 2 guys who had been together for 30 years who hated each other but couldn't afford to get divorced.
That's hilarious.
And we won a number of Indie Series Awards. I won Best Actor. I was nominated for the 2nd season. We won Best Editor. My partner in it, Mitch Hara, was nominated for the 2nd season. We were nominated for Best Series, Best New Series for the 1st season, Best Comedy Series for the 2nd. Yeah, it's on Tubi, Apple TV, Reverie, YouTube. I'm missing something more. Amazon. Yeah.
And how did it mean to you when you won the award for that? How did that feel? I mean,
I was shocked.
Were you?
I have to say. I thought, I went back to Mitch and I said, "Did they call my name?" Like I'm, I was completely shocked.
It's hard for me to believe that you were shocked.
Well,
I'm going to tell you
know.
why, but let me tell you why. Because we're comics, and I know you, and I know you from a time when we were all broke, pretty much, hanging out, working on our career. One thing about you were always very confident. I always felt you were very confident. Not on stage, I'm not talking on stage, off stage. You seem to be a very confident person. I think most comedians, including myself, we have egos. And I think we have big egos. We have to. I mean, it's kind of like our shield. You've always, I think you always had the ego. I think you're always confident. So it does shock me when you were shocked.
Well, I think I have more confidence on doing my work than I am in real life. And also, it's a rough business. People say one thing, they do another. There's a lot of racism. There's a lot of homophobia. There's a lot of anti-Semiticness in people. And it's not the kind that you think it is. It's that they think that you believe that you should be in this box.
We have 45 people in the audience right now, by the way.
25 what?
We have 45 people live in the audience right now watching the show.
Hey, people.
Which is rare. I mean, not that I'm saying it's rare, but usually we have like 15 or 20. I didn't want to cut you off, but I'm shocked.
No.
We have 45 people live on YouTube at this moment watching this show.
Wow.
Which is excellent. We have a bit of a crowd.
Well, hey, does anybody have any questions?
I know. I tried to open up the chat, but I'm having trouble opening up the chat. But one person did say, why did you want to tell that story about redlining? Why that particular story?
It's so many reasons. Because once I wanted to play a character. I wanted to play a character that didn't have a voice. I had done a film called Hank, and I got nominated for an award for that for the film festival. I can't remember which one. I have to look on the wall. It's somewhere. And then I really loved doing that part, but I wanted to work on it more. And then I wanted to do something about race, and then I wanted to do something about aging, and I wanted to do something about the idea of people who weren't able to get what they wanted, where life wasn't equal, but yet where they won in the end. It's just all sorts. It just sort of evolved, I wanted to. I love those. I love the Terrence Malick films.
Gotcha.
I love all those kind of things. So I love the pastoral looking film, and I wanted to do something like that.
What do you want audiences to understand, though, after watching it? Is there something behind it?
I think I'll tell you this. So when I was doing Birth of a Nation, I was on the red carpet, and people would ask me, "How do you feel about this? What is your opinion?" And I say, "This is what I do. I take up my shoes, I put on the shoes of my black brothers and sisters, and I just shut up and listen. Sometimes my opinion does not matter, and people want to be heard, and they also want to be listened to, and not question. Say, well, this is not true. This is not happening. Well, no, this is what happened to them. Like, I'm only telling my story. I was told that I could do things because I was gay. I was told that I would never get a series because I was gay. I was told that I would never be treated a certain way because I was gay. I mean, that's the way it was always done.
You're a survivor. You survived rejection so many times in so many different ways.
Oh my God, way, way more than you can ever imagine.
Daphne87 actually in the chat room wants to know, how do you handle rejection today?
I only give myself a day or two to feel bad about something. There was a movie that I auditioned for, and I did a kick-ass audition playing a sort of Bruce Willis kind of character of a guy who was a little more quirky, who was in the future, and he's being judged, and guns are at him in this one scene, and he's trying to get out of it. It's about data and what's happening in the world as if Trump had been president for 10, 15 years, and what was happening to the world and how crazy he had become. And crazier than he already is now, which is hard to believe, right?
That's an interesting question. That's an interesting. I love what you're saying. Keep going. I like that. I know where you're going with it.
So that's what I did. Yeah, that's what I did.
And also,
when I got really mad about it, I forgot what I was talking about for a second.
Yeah.
I got really mad about it, and I was really mad that that they didn't want me, and then the producer sent me a nice note. They liked my audition, that they just went a different way, different physical, whatever it was that made them. It doesn't really matter what it is, but it's one I really wanted, and it's one I thought that I would really have done an incredible job. And also, when I come to something, I don't just come to something as a actor. I also come to something as I bring a publicist with me. I do my social media. I show up for people.
You're professional.
But a lot of people don't.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Yeah.
They don't see it as part of their job.
And I knew you were. That's why before the show, I even texted you. I'm like, do you want to do a sound check? Do you want to check things out? Let's make sure it's right. Because we're like that. And I know that certain people would appreciate that. And certain people don't care. They're just, no, I'll just come on. But I knew you'd want to make sure that.
Well, I know that I knew you would have a good show.
So Daphne wants to know, same person, how did you handle rejection today? What was the closest you ever came to quitting? I think this is a person that probably is on the in the middle of something going on in Hollywood.
Every other week. I'll tell you that. You want to know the thing that really made me want to quit? So I won't say the person's name, but people who know. So there was a lesbian comedian who produced a documentary about gay comics, and I think that I'm not out of whack in my ego in this respect. There's a lot of specials that were done and documentaries were done about gay guys or gay women, or, LGBTQ people that had TV series or were trans, or, people like Sean Hayes and Amanda Burst, Married with Children, all these wonderful actors. They've been in a lot of. I never had a series, so I understand why I would be invited as a guest starring actor. I've had my own series that I've made, but not a major network series, or a series that was produced by a streaming service other than my own producing. So I understood about that. But when this was done, I called her and I said, hey, I want to, I would like to be in this. I think that this is something that would be, I would be an important person to be in this special. And she said, Jason, we can't do this without you. And then she went radio silence. Never returned a call to my agent, my publicist, or me.
That's kind of shitty.
And never, and included me in a clip from my TV special that was, I think, 10, 15 seconds, a joke. And then my picture flashed, and never had me. Didn't see that my contribution was important enough to be in the special. And I took to the bed for a couple of days.
Never ran into her ever anywhere in the scene?
No.
Interesting. Wow.
Not as of yet. We will someday.
One day, everybody meets. And is there anything you would tell that person, or you just kind of brush it off and walk the other way?
I'm done. I'm over it. It hurt my feelings, and it hurt me and it hurt me even more because she's a gay person.
Right. Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
She knows what I did, and what I did was way before everybody. I was before a whole group of people. And when you break the ground, do you deserve to walk on it? I think I do.
Yeah.
So
you mentioned that you were a liberal, gay liberal. You say.
Pretty liberal, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm conservative, and that's okay. I mean, we can have intelligent conversations, and I don't get really political.
I don't know what conservative means anymore, because I think it's changed the meaning of that word.
I would say I'm more purple than anything else.
Liberal is changed too. So
yeah, I'm bipolitical. I'm bipolitical. I can go either way.
I mean, I would bet you and I feel the same way about almost 90% of the things.
I'm sure. But, and that's an interesting thing. You mentioned Trump earlier. If you had to do a role in a movie they were making about the Trump administration, let's say next year they make a movie, and they want to hire you as a Trumper, a true, honest guy who's like working for Trump, would you be able to, would that be a role you can do and you would take on and feel good about it? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
So it's not about, you're not biased towards a role. If it's something that you want to do, you feel you can do, you're going to do it regardless if you like the person or not.
Yeah, I didn't like this. Believe me, the part I played in Birth of a Nation, I didn't like that.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah,
right.
So, I mean, there would be, no, of course.
Has there ever been a role you turned down or would turn down?
Yeah, it's usually about the writing or the people that you're working with, or the lack of talent, or experience.
Comedy today, if you had has political correctness made comedians more cautious? Do you feel the cancel culture has upset things in the
Well,
world of
these are two
comedy?
different things.
Okay.
Cancel culture is one thing, and um, the idea of being politically correct is another. I mean, there are things that we used to say that you can't say anymore because they don't exist or they're not the same. It's just not the same
Different
anymore.
meanings, you're saying?
Right. If you look at Sammy Davis Jr., okay, so he worked with the Rat Pack, and Dean and Frank and the whole crowd. They said all these things about him constantly, but at the time, all these. I don't even want to repeat this stuff, and it was terribly racist.
Right.
But at the time,
It was accepted.
that's what people were thinking, and that was the way people. The fact that he was even included in that group was a
Right.
miracle.
Right.
Because most of the places they work, he couldn't even stay in the hotel.
Right.
And
Same, yeah,
Sinatra,
I agree.
is the one that changed that for them. And I'm sure the other guys were a part of it also.
Well, they did what
Sure.
Sinatra told them to do. You know.
Right. And I'm sure it wasn't just him. I'm sure it was everybody in that troupe of people stood up for him. So at the time, that was the way it was. So if you did those jokes now, it wouldn't be relevant. It would be completely inappropriate. So yes, I do believe that comedy doesn't. Like a lot of times. I remember I tell this story. I followed a comedian who was on a very famous TV show, and he went on before me, and he made an incredible amount of jokes, anal jokes about anal sex, and it was really graphic and something I never do.
Tasteless.
And well, yeah, but the audience, an excellent comedian, the audience loved it, and I thought, geez, Louise, what am I gonna do? How am I gonna follow this guy? So I went on stage. Can I say the F word here?
Say whatever you want, sure. Open
Oh,
forum.
so I went on stage and I didn't know what to say. I said, how about a big round of applause for so-and-so? Wasn't he great? I fucked him. And then when I was done, I did it again because I'm not one of those gay guys that are just, little free.
Right,
I'm
right,
not that.
right.
I'm the kind of gets in there.
Yeah, you
So
do.
I started taking my power. And is it a joke that I like to do? No. But I had to do something. The taste level was on the floor. So I had to bring up the power that I wasn't a victim. And I think that's why I did really well in mainstream comedy clubs, because I think that I was not a victim. And, I wasn't a joke.
Well, you were funny. You always brought the funny. I mean, that's really what comedy was all about. I mean, he was doing his job tastelessly on stage, but he was getting laughs and they loved him. So he was doing his job. And you went up and you did your job and you killed and you did a great job. So really comedy is just about do your job and make us laugh. There's funny in anything you do. And I believe that either you're funny or not. I think a lot of people hide behind the fact that, well, I'm a gay comic and I can't get a laugh. No, you're just not fucking funny.
Come on. Everybody does. I can't say that because everybody does that.
What?
I'm a straight comic. I'm fat. I'm a
Right.
woman
Yeah.
who can't get a date. I'm Asian and I can't speak the language correct. It's what a country,
Right.
Russian.
Correct.
I mean, everybody uses what they have, so that's not a fair comment, I think. But what's not fair, what I think what you're saying, to be more articulate, forgive me for speaking for you. What you're saying is that brings personal stuff that's into your life that's real.
Right.
You
Well,
know, and then
what I'm really saying.
to?
Sure.
Who are you
And
talking to?
what I'm saying is the fat comedian in the back, the gay comedian, the black comedian. Okay, what I say, I don't like the excuses of if the fat comedian is going to go, oh, this crowd doesn't like fat. I'm going to suck tonight. They don't like fat jokes. That is them talking themselves, or I'm gay. This is not a gay crowd. These are excuses to me in comedy. That's what I was saying. It doesn't matter if you're gay, straight, fat, Chinese, black, whatever the fuck you are. If you're funny, you're funny in all aspects of the word funny. Not because you don't use the word excuse. Oh, this is not my kind of crowd. Any crowd could be your kind of crowd. I mean, do you feel like you could turn any crowd? I feel like I could turn any crowd.
I think I'm a 90% act. I don't have that kind of. I think that there are going to be people that are just not going to like me. That's just the way it is.
Yeah.
I
Well,
don't think you can get. I think that if you think that, you know,
90%
you're
fair.
sort of, yeah. Don't you think if you hear a guy that says, "Oh, I kill all the time,"
Right,
yeah,
right.
no, you don't. Shut the
No,
fuck up.
yeah, I agree. I
You
think
know what
90%.
I mean?
I think 90% is fair, but for the most part, us and our genre of comics, we know
We're not
we
going
know
to
what we can
fail.
accomplish.
We're not
Yeah,
going to kill everywhere you go. There's going to be
right.
people that just don't get, or there will people that don't that are racist. I mean, if you did a whole show full of gay men, it's going to be a little rough for you.
It'll be or put like a Brian Holtzman up there or something. You know, they might love him, but you don't know. They could be gay men. Listen, gay men love me. You know, back in the day, you know, I used to play gay rooms on Santa Monica.
And now you're a bear. So.
And they always said I was the poster child for being a bear. They said you could be the poster child. I'm like, well, you know, at least I have somewhere I can go one day. I always thought it was flattering. None of that really. I embrace everything. I embrace love. I mean, that's who I am. It doesn't matter to me. It's all fun to me. I enjoy. I'm married with a daughter, but you know what? I have all kinds of friends, and I think we can always anybody can be friends as long as you accept who that person is. You know. Do you feel responsible for mentoring younger people?
I do it all the time.
Yeah. And do you mentor younger people of all types or just LGBTQ?
I just mentor whoever needs it.
You do. So you step in and try to help when needed.
Always.
That's a good thing. I think that's
I love
thing.
that there's a Jack Lemmon quote that Kevin Spacey used to do a lot. And he'd say, when you go up in the elevator of success, take people with you.
Yeah, I agree. That's great.
Well, that's what you're doing right now. You're having me on your show.
I'm so happy you did the show. I mean, I had the person who was on last night. I had a show last night. I had an ex-Gambino soldier, a murderer, on the show, who's now in the witness protection program. I have so many different eclectic varieties.
But how can he be in the witness protection program if he's on your show?
Because he's out now. He don't give a shit no more. He said, I don't give a fuck. I'm going to do what I want. And he's legitimate. Yeah, he's a real deal. And he was on last night's show. I had another guy, a murderer. I've had comedians. I've had business owners. I love talking to everybody. That's what the show's about. Everybody's got a story. And because everybody does have a story. And I know you had a great story. I said, Jason would be great for this. I had Bob Golub on the show. He, another
He's
great guy. He talks very highly of you.
I like him. He's a great guy.
He is a great guy. What do you still want to accomplish? What's still going on? We're still young.
Well, I want to do another great role. I would love to have a recurring role or a regular role in a series. I would love to have that. I'd love to have a supporting role in a series. I'd love to work with Scorsese. I'd love to work with Spike Lee. I'd like to work with Jane Champion. I want to work with some of the tours.
And what role are you waiting to play?
It doesn't matter, really.
Really?
I mean, no, it doesn't matter. Whatever they think I'm right for, they think I can do. I've done a lot of different kinds of roles, so I don't have like something I've always wanted to do. I'm trying to think if there's something that I've always wanted to do that I haven't in terms of a part. I like the idea of doing movies where you don't talk as much and everything isn't about dialogue. I like that there's an action to it. That's films that are really cinematic. I like that a lot. The fact that you can just look somewhere and something and you can see something. I recently had my film at the Hip Hop Film Festival, and there was a film that was done all by students, and they just sort of basically spoon feed the audience. It was like like Lifetime movies, and they were telling everything. And I thought, why can't you come in there? You come in, you show that you're late for dinner, you sit down. The grandmother doesn't say a thing, doesn't say a word, just looks up and goes.
Yeah. I love that. Yeah.
And then he sits down. You show the clock, and you look at the clock, and you see it's 5 minutes after 6. And he sits down, and she goes, "Wash your hands." He does that. He comes back, and then she just starts. And then they pray. That's all you have to do. It's so much more powerful.
Yeah, little subtleties and nuances.
And I hope people. This is all across the way. I don't know where your fans are, but my film is
all over.
Today in 2 days we have gotten in 4 more festivals. So I would love you guys to come and see my film.
Where can they? Well, first of all, I got one question for you, and then I want to get everything. Where they can get them. What's that?
I'm doing some. I'll be at the Ice House Comedy Club on the September 4th, and I'll be at the Laugh Factory in Long Beach on October 17th.
Okay.
And
Where can they find out more about redlining?
Well, you can go to jasonstuart.com, Stuart.
Okay, and you have everything on there for them to keep track and be a part of the
No,
journey.
it's so much has gone on. This is the first time that
Okay.
I'm not up to date with everything.
Okay.
So it'll be in the next couple days.
Well,
But,
get on there, people.
We're going to, in Los Angeles or Hollywood, we'll be at the Indie Film Festival.
Okay.
Indie Wood Film Festival, September 11th. In Palm Springs, we'll be at the Cinema Diverse on September 19th. On September 27th, we'll be at the Mystic Film Festival in Connecticut.
Wow.
October 3rd, Tarzana International Film Festival. October 1st, the International Film Arts and Hearts Film Festival in Long Beach. October 2nd, Carmel International Film Festival. October 2nd, again, the Hollywood Queer Festival. And November 1st to 8th, the South Pacific Film Festival in Auckland, New Zealand. We have won, we have won 4 Best Short or International Short or Drama Best Films. We've been nominated for Best LGBTQ and Best Film and Director at the Hip Hop Film Festival. We got Best Actress for Alexander Paul. We got Best Ensemble for, oh wait, what is it? Hold on. Let me show you the award. I have it.
Yes, I want to see the award. Redlining. And make sure people, redlining is what you're keeping out for.
Yes.
Wow,
then we got, this is what's the name of the award? The Wild Sound LGBTQ for the ensemble. Everybody, and all the actors, which I love. And also at the hip hop, we got Best Production Design. And then everybody in the production, hair, makeup.
It's fantastic.
That, everything. And that was really wonderful. That was really, really wonderful.
Well, because watch out for that. You're going to come to Florida at all? You have any plans for Florida? Do you ever hit Florida?
Let's do a show together.
We should.
Call me.
I know a lot of people in Florida. Yeah. It'd be fun to get together with you.
There's the Raz. No, what is it? The
Raz room?
Oh, no, not the Raz room. It was the one, a room that the Boca Raton Black Box.
Boca Black Box. I'm going to be at the Boca Black Box October 8th, 9th, and 10th, actually.
I knew that. Yeah.
It's a great room. Have you played the Boca Black Box?
No, I've canceled there a couple times.
Oh, please don't cancel there. Randy won't bring you back. No, he will.
Every time we were going to do something, and then I just,
That'd be a great place to actually do a film.
I got a movie, honestly. That's why I couldn't do it.
Okay, but that'd be a great place to do a showing of your film. Have people come in and see a private viewing. What a great room! It's big. It's big. It's beautiful theater.
My friend Michelle Ballin has done that room a couple times. Yeah,
great room. I'd love to see you come out that way. Of course, maybe we could do a show together.
I would love it.
I'm gonna pitch an idea to Randy. He always asks me, "Is there any show you want to do like a pitch show?" I'm doing one called Comedy Cosa Nostra, which I'm producing.
He loves the names, right? Yeah.
He loves the name, so I'm gonna do. We have to come up with a good name.
Just say Jew. One Jew, one Italian.
Yeah.
And a meatball.
The Guinea Jew show.
A meatball and a matzo ball.
the two big balls, matzah and meat. Oh my God!
Right.
Sounds like a fucking
2 big balls.
All right, one question here for you. We've done almost an hour. We're going to be at an hour. Jason, after everything you survived, everything you built, and everything you've proven, who is Jason Stuart today? And what legacy do you want to leave, Jason?
Well, I want people to think that I'm talented. I want people to think that I'm a good person, that I'm funny, that I can hold. I mean, I've held my own with everyone from George Clooney to Faye Dunaway to Damon Wayans to Arnold Schwarzenegger, Angela Lansbury, J.K. Simmons. I mean, I could go on. So I've worked with, Chevy Chase. I even worked. David Spade. Drew, Laurie Metcalf. I work with Drew Carey on his. He's a terrific guy.
Yeah, they're all great.
I think his 800 number, he still has it, but he hasn't returned any more in years. So I'm thinking maybe he's not checking that anymore.
He's not checking it anymore.
He's a great guy. He was so supportive.
Yeah. And I like most importantly, though, than anything else, you're a wonderful son.
Oh, you know about my mom?
I do. and I think you're
Well,
a wonderful
my
son.
mom, hashtag, I don't live with my mother. She lives next door. Okay, I'm not that big of a loser. She lives, we live in a fourplex. I live up here. I live up here, and then she lives over here because you don't want to be above a Jewish woman. People
Wonderful,
walk by
though.
my house, they say, "Oh, what happened to Jason Stewart?"
It's wonderful how you watch everything with
they
her.
throw
and you do
balls on
things.
my lawn. They throw balls on my lawn. I keep them, and if they're over,
How do you like
21,
living in Palm? How do you like living out there in Palm Springs?
I love it here.
Yeah, I would love to live there.
This is my last place, but we'll see. I could live in a smaller town, honestly.
Yeah. Always California, though?
Yeah, I wouldn't leave here. It's just I feel safe here.
Yeah, that's good to hear. I'm glad.
I feel safe here. And I like that we care about other people here. It's not just about ourselves.
Right.
There's an incredible amount of services for LGBTQ people who come here, kids are kicked out of their homes, trans people that are being murdered. There's there's a lot of programs that help people here. And I feel really grateful to be a part of that.
You're a part of that. Wonderful.
But my mom and I did a commercial recently for AT&T. It's on right now.
I think I saw that. I think I saw something on that. I think I might have saw the commercial.
That's why you originally contacted me, right? I think maybe, I don't remember, but so I played this guy in the back of an Uber. There's a bunch of us, and the Uber driver says, that we should all stop doom scrolling, which is going through your phone all the time.
Right.
And he says, call your mother, and or call somebody. So, well, I'll call my mom. And I call my mom, and I say, where are you going? She says, I'm right here. That's it.
That's funny.
Made more money on that than I made on anything.
You work, man. You're always working. I always see you popping up on little things. I always say to my wife, that's Jason Stewart. The same thing. There he is. He's playing a slave owner. Look at him.
Glad you played the same. Wasn't that a great movie, though?
Great movie, but I really enjoyed watching you because knowing you and you played it so well. I'm like, wow, he's got the chops, man. He knows he can do it. You killed that role.
Thank you.
Yes, you do great. Well, I appreciate you coming on the show tonight, Jason. I really do.
I appreciate you having me.
And you always have an open invitation. You know that. You can always come on whenever you want. And if you ever want to come on with somebody or do a little something, you're always welcome to do that. Come on with other people. You have a ticket to everybody. Everybody's got a story. Anytime you want to come on promote something, I appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
And I thank you for coming on the show. And we'll talk real soon. If you have any more questions, it's going to be on Spotify and iTunes and all that, Amazon and everything else.
And when we stop talking, you'll fix it up?
I will. I'll fix that. It's going to look good, too. It'll look good and it'll sound good. Jason, thank you very much. I appreciate you.
For having me.
Love you. And anytime you're welcome, my friend.
Much love.
We'll talk to you soon. Thank you.
Take care.
You too. Bye.